Do you know someone who is functional on the outside, but fractured on the inside? Protesting. Is it changing anything? Let's start thinking differently. If protests really worked, there would be visible change. We are still protesting. There has been no change. Actually, things have been getting worse. Why? Because when we are anti something, whatever we are anti has to exist. Healing with the Rev podcast is going to bring you comfort, build community, and give you some inspiration to move forward. Pro peace. For those of you who are old enough to remember who Mother Teresa was, Mother Teresa during the Vietnam War was asked to come to an anti-war rally. She said, I will not be there, but when you have a peace rally, invite me, I will come. She understood the difference between anti whatever and peace. So let's be for peace. And peace does not mean sitting on your butt doing nothing. It's very active. I'm Reverend Teresa Heipel. I am your host of Healing with the Rev podcast. I have lost loved ones to death. I am here to honor your faith tradition, and here you can find peace, calm, and clarity. Peace starts with community building, one person at a time, standing for something rather than against something. When we stand for, we're taking a stance for what we want. Anti-war, anti-ICE, or whatever is going on today as you are listening to this, whatever we are anti really does have to exist. We're giving power over to whatever it is we are wanting to not exist. If we want to abolish something, we need to be pro whatever that is. For this, we want pro peace. We want to be for peace. I don't think anyone would argue with me about that, but they haven't changed their mindset from something negative to something positive. So let's build something positive in this world. Peace building starts with faith. Whatever your faith is, whether it's Christian, Jewish, Islam, or anything else, I say have a faith in a higher power somewhere, because life gets difficult. And when life gets difficult, sometimes we don't know what to do with that. Building with faith, people are coming together. They're learning together. They're expounding their beliefs. They're expounding justice. And aren't we all wanting social justice? Seriously. Drum circles. It's a great way to release pent-up emotions. At my church, we have a drum circle. And when I go there, I can pound on the djembe drums, as you'll see on this picture. There's a lot of djembe drums. It's a great way because you can come up with your own rhythm and you can come up with your own chant in your head. It's pretty awesome. The podcast format, we're going to have real stories. I'm probably going to be talking more than doing interviews. I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. I'm going to give you some practical tips and some uplifting interviews as we go along. Expressions of heartache, honoring our pain. This woman is feeling the weight of her loss. Whatever that loss is, she is not sure she wants to face reality. Sometimes reality is really difficult because reality is not someplace where we want to be. But we are here and we are now. And if you're listening to this, you're paying attention. So you are present in this moment. She appears to be afraid to see what is in front of her, whether she lost a spouse or a friend or a child or lost a job, gone into retirement, doesn't know what to do with her time. There's so many different kinds of ways of heartache, so many expressions of heartache. And whatever you're feeling, know that you are in great company and everything you feel is all good. And so I would ask you to continue to watch these podcasts because they're going to be informative. Some of them are about loss of some sort. Some of them are about these protests and peace and how we can move forward. Honor yourself by doing what is right for you in the moment. Welcome back to Steady by Design. I'm Teresa. Today we are talking about a particular kind of pain that comes when something you believed about a person, a system, a faith tradition, yourself, turns out not to be what you thought it was. Disillusionment, confusion, the ground shifting under your feet. This is a grief that doesn't always get named as grief, but that's exactly what it is: the loss of a certainty, the death of a story that organized your world, and it deserves to be honored as such. Surface it. What confusion and disillusionment feel like. Disillusionment is disorienting in a way that other emotions are not. Other emotions, even painful ones, usually have a clear subject. I am angry at this person. I am sad about this loss. Disillusionment is different. It reaches backward in time and forward into the future simultaneously. Makes you question what you knew, what you thought you knew, what you can trust going forward. In the body, it can feel like a kind of vertigo, the world slightly tilted, mental fogginess, difficulty concentrating, difficulty making decisions, a low-grade sadness that doesn't have a clean object, cynicism rising, a protective hardening, What has disillusioned you? What did you believe, and what happened to that belief? Name it, even if just to yourself. It matters to name it. Understand it. The gift inside the loss of illusion. The word disillusionment contains within it the answer to itself. To be disillusioned is to be freed from an illusion. And I know that sounds like cold comfort when the illusion was something you loved, a marriage, a community, a faith, a vision of your own life that didn't materialize. But here's what's true. Illusions, by definition, are not real. And while losing them is painful, what comes after, if you do the work of grieving them rather than replacing them with new illusions, is something more valuable. Clarity, not the clarity of certainty. We've seen how uncertain certainty can be, but the clarity of honest seeing, of knowing what is actually here rather than what you wished was here. Disillusionment is an invitation to a more honest relationship with reality. And that, on the other side of the grief, can become a foundation nothing can shake. When we come back from the break, we will talk about move through it and anchor it. Let's pause here for just a moment. This is what I call the steady moment. A pause to remember that peace in the world begins with peace inside us. One thing I've learned from working with people over many years is that the world does not become peaceful through more reaction. It becomes peaceful through more steadiness. When your nervous system is regulated, your thinking becomes clearer, your decisions become wiser, and your presence alone begins to influence the people around you. That's the work I do through what I call steady by design. I help people regulate stress, restore clarity, and return to peace, both in their bodies and in their lives. Because when we become steady inside ourselves, we stop reacting to chaos and begin creating stability in the world around us. And that is where real peace begins. Book your discovery call using this QR code. Now, let's continue. Welcome back. Let's move on with Move Through It. Move through it, sitting without knowing. One of the hardest things about disillusionment is the pressure to immediately replace what was lost with a new certainty, to find a new explanation, a new system, a new story. I want to invite you to resist that pressure, at least for a little while. There is something deeply valuable about learning to tolerate not knowing. It is actually a form of wisdom. The people who can sit in the space between what was and what will be, without collapsing into despair or rushing into premature resolution, those are the people whose next convictions are trustworthy. So for right now, you don't have to know. You don't have to have the new answer. You don't have to figure out what you believe now. You just have to be honest about what isn't working anymore. That is enough for today. Anchor it. Honest ground is solid ground. What you build on honest ground, even when that ground is smaller than what you had before, is real. The foundation of I don't know and I'm willing to find out is more solid than the foundation of I am certain when that certainty is built on something that cannot hold your weight. You are not losing your way. You are finding a more honest one. Your anchor. I can live in the questions. Honest uncertainty is more trustworthy than false certainty. I trust the process of genuine seeking. If you have enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe here. Your follow and subscribe allows me to make better quality content for you. I will bring in guests on occasion. If this message resonates with you, I bring the Steady by Design framework to organizations, communities, and events that want to lead with clarity instead of reaction. I'd love to continue the conversation. Thank you for sitting in this tender space today. Steady by Design is in beta at https://steady-by-design.netlify.app. Until next time, stay steady. You were designed for this.